Greetings, MU4606, and welcome to the class session for Tuesday, April 21st. I hope this video finds you doing well. We're getting really close to the end of what has been quite a challenging semester, and so if you're anything like me, you might be going a little stir crazy right now. I want you to know I'm doing fine. Dr. Chen's taking great care of me, and Angel has been just a joy to have around. But I hope you are able to find wellness in your life too. So please hang in there. Let's all finish strong together. Today we open the fourth in our series of modules for this class. We started with a little mini unit on special methods where we learned about Kodai, Orff, and Dalcroze. Then we progressed to the middle school methods and we kind of focused on modern music and modern music making. You did some unit planning there. We went to the largest part of the class, which was in adaptive methods. I've reviewed many of your adaptive projects. I'll have those completed very soon. Some of you did some really outstanding work, and I'm proud of the resources that you took it upon yourselves to review. Investigate and such. I'm really confident that when you go out into the field, you'll now have a different sense of understanding for working with children with disabilities. And now we finally end the class with a mini unit on music education technology. So first, a quick little musical diversion. I think it was in the beginning of the fall semester where I shared this wooden whistle with you. I was so excited just to have a way to share it. Well, recently I did a little research and discovered that the Brazilian wooden whistle is actually the Brazilian samba whistle. And so now I know a little bit more of the purpose for this instrument. So check it out. Maybe this will inspire you to dance. Or maybe it didn't inspire you to dance. Anyway, let's get started on music education technology. Have two resources that we looked at for today's class, and I hope you did your reading in advance. Yes, you did, right? Okay, good, just checking. And so we're just going to kind of talk about some of the primary factors involved there. First, we had, actually, before we look at the first, let's talk about why is this important. More now than ever before, we have an understanding that we exist in a digital age, in not only in music education, but really in our lives. And so the importance of technology has really become quite readily apparent. And if there's been one kind of joyful factor in the past couple months, for me personally, I've enjoyed engaging with some new forms of technology, and I understand that my learning curve is really quite high, but I look forward to sharing some new things with you. So some other reasons that it's important for us to engage is that music and technology really quite go well hand in hand, and we can see in a lot of the audio visual media presentations some of the virtual choirs that you see and hear on the web and on television, etc. But we know that music and technology really work well together naturally. Technology can be an assistive device for our visual learners. It also can be affordable. We know of numerous free and reduced cost resources that are available, and it can save us money, especially when we're teaching in a unit. Say, for example, for your middle school students, if you go the technology route, it might be more affordable than perhaps buying a whole set of classroom instruments. And then we will be called upon to use technology in our classrooms, and again, now is making that more evident than ever before. But your school administrators are really going to look for this. They're going to expect it. Some of them will actually ask you, what kinds of technology do you want for your classroom? And they'll help you with obtaining those resources. Okay, so the first website that we looked at were 6 examples of technology in music education, and just a couple of things to touch on. I looked at SoundCloud. It's really kind of a storing place for music. You can, as a classroom teacher, you might store playlists But you can also create your own music and store it. It seems that a lot of people use SoundCloud kind of as their own personal platform for promoting their music. But it does give you the opportunity, in addition to locating and kind of like collecting music that's pre-existing on the site, you can upload your own. Another is Solfeggio, and I can't remember if we took the opportunity to look at this. It is currently free for educators. A lot of these platforms have, you know, like a free window of time that you can grab it. This one I think is currently 30 days, but there might be a free subscription for educators if you apply for that. And actually, no, I know there is because I have it. I've been on Solfeggio now for more than a year. But let's take a look at an example of a resource here. This is a Bruno Mars song, and let's just take a listen. So you see how this kind of thing could be useful if you're teaching students the guitar. It also offers options for you to view ukulele chords. So and again, you can see that they give you the chord charts down here at the bottom. I'll be the light to guide you. You can see also it'll show the bass patterns, piano. I would tend to use either guitar or the ukulele. So there's a little bit on Solfeggio, and if I can go to, let me see if I can go back to kind of like my home page. You can see that there are also lessons here, and they give you some ideas for teaching through this particular technology. They actually have lesson plans in the form of articles. See, some of the topics include reading and singing the notes, simple rhythms, master the melody, rocking the rhythm, etc. If we take a look at master the melody, it gives you a snapshot of the lesson down to the timing of the procedures that you would implement, goal aims, song suggestions, etc. So there are a few kind of lesson plan ideas available through Solfeggio. Okay, and then just a few more ideas that were shared in this particular, the 6 examples website. One had to do with ear training apps, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have already used ear training apps in like through your theory class or for your own personal development. Also, notation software. Everybody's using some form of notation software, so it would be great if we could all discuss this and share what are the different notation softwares, but I'm confident that you know about many of the resources that are available. And then finally, just a question on smart music. Recently, I was connecting with some other music ed professors in the state, and my friend Dr. Hoikesheven, who's down at St. Mary's, she's been using smart music as a form of engagement with her ensemble students. Most of that is individual based, but she's getting her students to make music by using smart music. So that's another available resource. Moving right along, the second website that we examined for today's class was TIME. Okay, so here's your quiz question. What does TMIE stand for? Well, I know you did the reading, right? So you know, obviously. It stands for Technology and Music Education. This I'm sharing with you more for your own awareness. If you look at the website, you might question the extent to which it's up to date. I can tell you, though, that the organization is currently functioning. Just a few bits of background knowledge. One, they're dedicated to the use of technology specifically for in-service professionals, meaning school teachers, or we call the boots on the ground. They're affiliated with several music education organizations, including the TMEA, or the Texas Music Educators Association. And they provide summer training for teachers. Again, I want you to be aware of this organization because if you're one of those who really wants to dig into technology, this could be an opportunity for you to get some summer training. I've found that if I'm able to dial into one or well one or more, but like really focus in on one specific professional organization, whether it's in Kodai, ORF, ACDA, in your state music ed association, whatever it may be. Maybe it's in technology, maybe it's Little Kids Rock. But if you can get summer training, it can really change your teaching life. So there are a few different things that I would like for you to be aware of in terms of the TIME website. If you didn't, please look at some of the instructional supports, particularly the student workbooks and the lesson plans. So let's visit their site briefly. And one of the things that I found of interest were, and this was last updated in 2015, but some of the book resources on technology and music education. And most recently, Learning Music with GarageBand on the iPad, Essential Classroom Guide for Music Production, Performance, etc. Looks like a really good book. Alfred's Music Tech 101. And then, I was referring earlier to, you can see the information on the courses, and I encourage you to go in and look at level 1 course material. Really it's very hands-on. It's the opportunity for you to engage with technology specialists and for you to do some composing, some arranging, using notation software, etc. But if you go into the instructors institutions, down at the bottom there are some tech lesson plans, and here again are some, they're kind of skeletal, but they give you some really good ideas that you could build upon. So for example, basic music notation for choir, and they give you some background knowledge. They specify what are the objectives, procedures, evaluation, etc. So it's mostly idea based, but it could be a good resource. So again, I hope you're have an increased awareness of technology and music education. I'm going to close by just sharing some things that are coming down the pike for us as we finish up the class. One is that your technology project is due on Thursday, April 30th. You already know this, but it is a composition project. Should be 3 to 5 minutes in length. It should have multiple sections, so there would be some kind of a formal structure involved. I would encourage the use of transitions in your composition. Voice and lyrics are optional, but you might choose to use your own voice as the live music input component. It should have melody, harmony, rhythm, form, and expression, some of all of the really primary musical elements. And again, it must involve some kind of manual input, you singing, playing an instrument, etc. So you've already looked at some of the options that you might use in producing your recording. There is no video component for this. If you use video, that's great, but it's not required. So you can use GarageBand. I looked at Soundtrap in my little mini review, and the Google folder that I think everybody contributed to has some other ideas. So in addition to your composition, you are to review 2 of the class resources that are listed in our course readings. At the bottom, there is a number of technology resources. Review 2 of those, 5 to 8 sentences, write it up on a Word or PDF file and upload it with your project. And then also you will peer review 2 other class compositions. So please look in Canvas for the details on the tech project. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, and then finally a couple announcements. You have a check-in. I went ahead and opened it today. So you have today is Thursday. I'm here at around 5 o'clock on Thursday. But it is due on Tuesday the 21st at 10 a.m. So please do take care that you complete that check-in before basically what would have been the end of our class period tomorrow. And then also make sure that you're looking at the details on the final exam. I shared those with you last week. I'm hoping to work with the Acapella app during the next day or so to give you an example of an audio-visual performance. But In class, it would have been a string guitar or ukulele. We didn't have the opportunity to work as intensively on ukulele as I would like, so this is going to be a recorded performance as the final graded component of the class. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I hope you're well. Please be taking care of yourselves. I look forward to seeing you. I'm going to schedule a class session for us on the last day, which would be Thursday. I want to say it's April 30th would be the last day of class, so we can get together. We'll listen to some of our technology compositions and debrief. Okay, take care, everybody. I will see you soon.